Hey guys, this is Harry. In this voiceover, I'm going to be answering question 7 of the evaluation. So I hope you enjoy. So question 7. Looking back at your preliminary task, the continuity and editing task, what do you feel you have learnt in the progression from it to your full product? And what I've said here is that looking back at my preliminary task, I feel as if I have developed a better eye for interesting shots and camera placements and so on. This is because for our preliminary, we just stuck to the basics but with our opening sequence, we were able to use more diverse shots. For example, more close-ups and different types of zooms and focus pulls. On top of this, I've also learned how to edit, which has thankfully enabled me to film and edit my own vlogs at home, so I don't need to be relying on any other teachers or friends from school. And because of this, I've been able to improve my research and planning stage, which is a big plus. Furthermore, when watching our preliminary again, I realised that the mise-en-scène looks to be much improved when compared to our final opening sequence. This is because within our preliminary, we had tried to make it look as if Reese is a teacher applying for a job at Ravenswood School. But the issue was with this is the fact that during the whole time Reese was in shot, you can see that he was wearing his green lanyard, which represents that he is a pupil at the school. So this almost ruins the mise-en-scène as it gives away who he really is. On top of this, in the last shot, a foot can be seen. And this was one of the other members of our group who was standing there from the previous shot, which was earlier on in the preliminary task. This broke the immersion slightly, as once you noticed it, you sort of found yourself looking back over constantly, almost as if making you think that it was another person who was about to join the shot and add to the story. But this was not the case. Also, another thing to add is that the location in which we had shot didn't really look like an office, as we did just use a standard classroom, which again made the opening look a bit unrealistic. The sound also turned out to be an issue, because during the scene of Reese as the teacher who's applying for a job, in the scene where he's walking down the corridor, you can hear lots of children shouting from other classrooms, which, even though it does happen in schools and it's a common thing to hear school children talking, I felt that for this task, I felt that it was more drawing away the focus towards the sound coming from the classrooms rather than having the focus all on the character. And so another thing that I'd like to add is looking at the sound that was used during our preliminary task compared to our official opening sequence. Now, with our preliminary task, we did not use any non-diegetic sound, so we only used sound that was created in the environment. We didn't edit any in, which for a first go I thought was quite good, as the sound just by itself did work quite well, especially in the corridor scene when you could really hear the steps that Reese was taking, thankfully to his heeled shoes, which made quite a nice clicking sound as you saw and heard him walk past, which I thought worked very effectively. And now, looking at our opening sequence, we have used both diegetic and non-diegetic sound. So obviously there's some dialogue, which is diegetic, but on top of this, we had also gotten the attacker to turn on the TV and to also turn on the the radio, which then proceeded to play a film and then also a song. And we had the chance to just edit that in to see if we could make it seem a bit louder. But luckily, with the reshooting that we did, we were able to make the sound more clear, so you can definitely hear that something's been turned on. And then when looking at our non-diegetic sound that we use, we had used a royalty-free overlay track to go through pretty much the entire opening sequence, and it was more of ticking of clocks, which created quite a mysterious sort of feel, which really helped to add to the attackers' sort of plan. People are starting to think, oh, what is he plotting? How is he doing it? How long has it taken him? Why would he do this? Why Ben? Why this house? And so on. A couple more things to add. I feel as if, looking back now, I feel much more confident in trying out new shots consisting of all different angles, and just seeing what works to progress and try to build on the quality of my work. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks.